The first round of the Masters 8 tournament concludes. Let's jump into it. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Entering Infinity here. Today I'm back to review the Pokemon Journeys anime, episode 115, where we get to see the Masters 8 tournament kick off and Alain take on Leon. So first, I'm going to start off by recapping the episode, and then after that, I'm going to talk about the things that I liked about the episode and the things I didn't like about the episode. And unfortunately, the things I didn't like about the episode is a little bit of a longer list than what I did like. But pretty much the episode starts off where Ash is approaching, Winden Stadium, and Ash runs into Hop, and Hop challenges him to a battle, and I'm just sitting there like, really? We knew this was going to happen, but I was like thinking to myself, if this takes more than 30 seconds, I'm going to be pissed. And thankfully, Pikachu just one-shots his Wooloo with an Iron Tail, so that was really good. I was laughing, and I was happy that was just quick and out of the way. So then we see Ash kind of getting into the stadium, because he's about to be a part of the opening ceremony, and he runs into Iris in the hallway, and they're kind of running together, which was cool. And then we see them kind of get to the locker room with all the other champions, which is really awesome. Then we kind of cut to the ceremony, and we see all the trainers going in order of rank from 8 to 1 get introduced, which was really awesome. And they did a really nice job with that scene, kind of introducing everybody and having them kind of raise out of the floor and then have like their colored lights coming out of the ground and stuff was really cool. And then we see after they kind of announce everyone, they direct everyone's attention to the screen, and they do the lottery for the drawing of who's going to be battling who in the tournament, which we already knew where that was going into it because of the previews and stuff. So we get to see that Leon's matched up against Alain, Lance is matched up against Diantha, Cynthia's matched up against Iris, and Steven is matched up against Ash. And then they pretty much don't really waste a whole lot of time, and they kind of jump right into that. The opening ceremony stuff did kind of take like half the episode up, and then the first round kicks off. Leon starts walking out on the field, Alain starts walking out. We get to see all the Masters 8 trainers together in that locker room, like watching it on that television, which was really cool. And then Ash decides to sit in the stands with Go and Hop and watch it with them. So that was interesting. I would have liked to see Ash kind of be in the mix of all the other Masters 8 trainers, but not surprising that he went to watch it with his friend. So the trainers approach the field, and then we get to hear opening remarks from the referee, and he explains the rules about how they can only use one gimmick, so on and so forth. It's a 3v3. He announces the start of the battle. It's super hype. I love the way that the Pokeballs collided, because they both sent out their Pokemon at the same time, and the Pokeballs actually literally collided in the middle of the field, and the Pokemon came out. I thought that was really awesome. I don't recall ever seeing that before, and I thought that was really sick. So Leon kicks things off with his Rillaboom, which was an interesting choice, and then Alain starts off with his Chestnut, and I was shocked, right off the rip, Leon just G-maxes his Rillaboom after Alain tries to make one attack, and I'm just sitting there like, damn, he's just doing this right out the rip. So he Gigantamaxes the Rillaboom, which I feel like they probably kind of had to, because I feel like Rillaboom's kind of an awkward Pokemon for the animators to have to realize in kind of real form, because it's a Pokemon that just sits there with a drum in the video game, so it's kind of hard to animate Rillaboom moving around and stuff. So I wonder if they almost kind of had to make him G-max it, just because it needs to kind of be stationary pretty much in order for it to kind of make sense, because it can't really run around with the drums. And then Alain's just dodging and blocking the G-max, and then after that Rillaboom kind of shrinks back down to normal size and ends up taking out the Chestnut. He one-shots the Chestnut with an acrobatics attack, and then we see Alain send out his Charizard, which he then turns around and takes out Leon's Rillaboom, which was cool. So I'm like, okay, Alain's got one W, it's a good start, and he still has his Mega intact, so that was pretty cool. And then he switches it out for Malamar, which I was very surprised to see. So then Leon sends out his Charizard, and unfortunately the Malamar does just get one-shotted by a fire blast to the face, but it did have really cool movements, the way it kind of shot over to the Charizard. It was kind of moving around really cool before it got there, and then the Charizard just grabbed it and just fire blasted in the face, which is pretty crazy, and just one-shots the Malamar. And then Alain was pretty much down to his final Pokemon, which was his Charizard, and then he Mega Evolves it, and unfortunately it pretty much gets one-shotted by Leon using a Dragon Pulse with with his base Charizard. So Alain unfortunately gets knocked out very easily in this tournament, and the match pretty much concludes there. And then we see the preview for next week where it's going right into the Lance versus Diantha battle. So now I want to talk about the things I liked and the things I didn't like about the episode. I'll start off with the things I did like. I did like the fact that Ash brushed aside Hop very easily, and that didn't take up a lot of time in the episode. I was very happy to see that. My fear going into this was that battle was going to take up a lot of time, and that it was also going to possibly even take away from Ash getting to see the battle of Leon versus Alain. But thankfully that happened before, and it was super quick, so I was really happy to see that. Next thing I really liked was getting to see Team Rocket again. I feel like it's been a while since we've gotten to see them, so it's always really nice seeing them kind of make an appearance and not kind of ruin everything. So that was nice. Third thing I really liked about this episode was the opening ceremony. I thought they did a really nice job with that. It was just a really special moment for us fans to see, Ash being on stage with all the champions and all these powerful trainers. After 25 years, it's kind of a pretty incredible moment. So I did really enjoy that a lot. The next thing I really liked was seeing all the Masters 8 trainers in the locker room together. I thought that was a really cool callback to, Pokemon Sword and Shield video games. When you kind of make it to the end of the game, you're in the locker room with all the gym leaders and stuff. And I really liked that from the game because we never really get to see that, all these really important people together. And this is even kind of even on a bigger scale, given that these are all champions and stuff. So getting to see all of them together, I thought was really cool, and seeing them interact, and also getting to see them on top of that, watching the match between Leon and Alain and kind of giving some commentary along the way. I thought that was really cool, and I really enjoyed that a lot. Again, I just kind of wish Ash was there as well to kind of be in the mix with them, but I did really enjoy that. And I guess the last thing I enjoyed about the episode was I thought Alain did a really good job stalling out Leon's Gigantamax Rillaboom, because he pretty much dodged two of the attacks and then blocked the one with his spiky shield. So I thought that was really good job doing that, because in the video games you can't even evade from those attacks. So the fact that he was able to do that was a pretty big deal in this match. Fortunately, it didn't kind of lead to where we hoped it would, but I thought that was really good that it showed Alain's skill as a trainer. Was probably the only good thing that they really did for him in terms of writing. So I did enjoy that aspect. And then for the things that I didn't like, so unfortunately that pretty much consisted of almost the entirety of the battle sequence. I just want to preface this by saying, we all expected, other than a few people, that Leon was going to win this match. My only hope going into this was that, Alain would be able to leave this with some kind of dignity and respect for himself, and just showing that he put up a really good battle and kind of push Leon and not just get completely bodied. But unfortunately, that's not what we got in this episode. So the episode, we get confirmation that these battles are 3 versus 3, which is again not ideal, because obviously at this point it's ridiculous that it's not 6v6, but 3v3 is better than what it could have been, because we've seen 1v1 previously. It could have been potentially 2v2, so 3v3 at least is better, but they should really be doing 6v6 at this point. And the fact that they squeeze that into only half of an episode, in my opinion, is just really ridiculous. So it was very rushed. Now I want to talk about Pokemon choice. So Alain's Pokemon choice made absolutely no sense to me. Alain is not a moron. He's going into this match knowing exactly who Leon is. Pretty much they try to make it be he's the most famous trainer in the world. He's undefeated. He's the guy to beat. Everybody knows about him. Everybody and their mother knows that he's got a ridiculously powerful Charizard. So you would think that Alain would come prepared with Pokemon that could deal with primarily a Charizard amongst other things. So to see Alain come to this battle with not a single Pokemon that could deal with Leon's Charizard, at least attempt to, in terms of typing, is just beyond ridiculous to me. The fact that he brings a Chestnut into this battle that is 4 times weak to Charizard is just absolutely insane. And the fact that Leon didn't even need to use his Charizard to beat it, because he just got one shot by an acrobatics from a Rillaboom, is just absolutely insane to me. And the fact that he brought a Malamar, which does absolutely nothing for him, literally and figuratively, it makes no sense matchup wise, really. And then also, why would he even do that? Just gets one shot when Alain has a Tyranitar that would have been a really good matchup into the Charizard, and Alain has a lot of other really powerful Pokemon. So the fact that he brought these 3, obviously he's bringing his Charizard, but the other 2 slots made absolutely no sense to me. I thought that was really bad writing. I think they were trying to do some fan service by him using the Chestnut, but otherwise, the Malamar slot made no sense, and otherwise the Chestnut slot made no sense to me. I thought that was really bad writing. And the fact that, he just got completely bodied was just absolutely kind of ridiculous. He started off again really well by stalling out the Gigantamax, but the fact that, he just gets one-shotted by the acrobatics, his Malamar gets one-shotted, pretty much all of his Pokemon just get one-shotted. So once he kind of brings out his Charizard, I'm like, okay, Leon can't Gigantamax the Charizard, he's got the upper hand, he still has his Mega Mega, and then for him to get one shot by a base Charizard using like Dragon Pulse was like absolutely ridiculous. Like, I just sat there like, are you serious? Once the Charizards were out on the field at the end, I looked at the time left in the episode, and there was like 2 minutes left of the episode, and I was like, are they really going to end this? Because you know, knowing what we know about the preview for next week, we know that it's going to be Lance versus Diantha episode. So I'm like, are they really wrapping this up in like 2 minutes when like the Pokemon haven't even started fighting yet? And you know, lo and behold, Alain Mega evolves his Charizard and just gets one shot, and I'm just sitting there like, are you kidding me? Like, you're really going to do Alain that dirty? I was just super disappointed by that. I think that was such a mistake. From what we've seen so far, in my opinion, like up until Leon's character was magically created, Alain's Charizard was the strongest Charizard we've ever seen pretty much in this anime, to my knowledge. It's won countless battles, and I've only even seen it get knocked out once. I believe it was against like Cybold's Mega Blastoise. Like, his Charizard like never faints, is an absolute unit, has taken out so many Pokemon, so many other Mega Pokemon. Like, it is like ridiculously powerful. Like, in my mind, it should be on par with Leon's as a base Charizard, and he's got Mega. So the fact that he gets completely one-shotted by Leon's base Charizard is absolutely ridiculous. It's terrible writing, and I think that was a really big mistake to do him dirty like that. There's other ways that could have been done, but they just really like embarrassed his character, and he kind of left there with kind of no dignity left. So I was very upset about that. I just really wish they would have handled that better, because I don't think they did a good job with that. So yeah, it does kind of make me a little nervous going forward. I mean, I already tried to set my expectations lower because I know how the Pokemon anime does us dirty, but I really hope that this isn't kind of the formula that they're going to be using for the rest of this tournament, having these really rushed battles, having things that like make no sense, having subpar animation and things like that. I'm trying to keep my expectations in check, but it's hard because this is like the most hyped tournament ever, and I'm just really nervous how they're handling this, and I just really want to see like some really great stuff. And unfortunately we didn't get to see that in the first round, but there's still time, so we'll have to see kind of how the rest of this plays out. Next week's episode should be interesting, at least because it's the only match in the first round that, you know, we actually don't know who's going to win, because every other match, for plot reasons, we pretty much already know that Cynthia's going to win and Ash is going to win. So the Lance versus Diantha match is the only one that's like actually going to be surprising, so it'll be probably one of the more interesting ones to watch. I will be upset if Lance does not win this battle, but given that Lance already fought Leon in the last season's finals, I feel like they're not going to make him rematch him, so I think they'll most likely make Diantha win, which is kind of upsetting to me because I'm a big fan of Lance and I feel like he's a much stronger champion and should not lose to her. But that's kind of my prediction going into next week. But I am really curious what everybody else thinks. Like, did you love it? Did you think it was really good writing and just a really good battle? Or were you kind of like a little disappointed like I was and expected them to do a lot better than that? Really curious what you think. Let me know down in the comment section below. If you stayed till the end, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you liked the video, do me a huge favor and hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'm really trying to make it to 1,000 subscribers, and I'll catch you all in the next one.